that was both easier and quicker than using a little pink plastic shovel. I'm a big fan of working smart, not hard. Where are my manners? It is Monday morning. Hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to do a bit of bedding up because the calves didn't get bedded over the weekend. They're actually all right, but I do like to keep them nice and dry, so we're going to do that first thing Monday morning. They'll get done then Wednesday and Friday, and then hopefully they'll be all right for next weekend. Does mean we need to go in this green machine here, if I can find a key. Come on. Never in doubt. Now this has got one of those really good seats that likes to go down every time you get off the seat. And if you've got long legs like I have, when the seat is on the floor, you can't physically do anything. You look like you're in some sort of hideous yoga position. Nice one. Put the spooling gear, bring the chute round so we don't bend that when we put a bale in. Proper gear stick in this one. Right, I've got a bale ready on the 0161 manual on the map. Ourselves in park. Let the bed down. Now, so far the straw that we've used this year has been of varying qualities. This one looks like quite a nice dry bale. Doesn't look to be any rubbish in it. There's some barley straw I chopped up on the top. But you can see some of them, like this one here, are absolutely full of earth. That's why I put this one to the side, sort of. And the one up there, see that black line across the middle? Most of this straw comes from the Andover part of the country. So I don't know if they want their topsoil back or not. Yeah, this one looks all right. There's no signs of any earth in that one, so get the strings cut. Now, it would have been a good thing to put the bale in the right way up. Both knots are going to be underneath now, so that'll make it interesting pulling the strings out. Yes, I know it's cheating. It saves a lot of time. Now, just before we go to bed up, I'd like to give a little bit of a shout out to Masons and Kings, who are the sponsor of today's video. There are loads of links in the description for winter service offers, for free hats, if you'd like a hat, for some careers that are currently being advertised at Masons and Kings as well. So head down to the description, there's a link for everyone down there, whatever you want to look at, and yeah, show them a bit of support. Let's go do some bedding. So here we are bedding up. Now, I don't like blowing straw on the calves, so luckily they all stand at the back there. You just blow it into a pile and then either go in and kick it around afterwards, or they spread it themselves. But there's so many calves in here, it would take me so long to do it all by hand, so I do tend to just blow it very, very gently with the machine just ticking over into a pile in here, and then go around and sort it all out afterwards. The nice thing about this shed as well is it drags the air from one end to the other, so any dust that I'm creating by bedding them up is just out the door as soon as it's created. One more pen, then we're done. Now, can you see this guy here? There's a bit of a reflection. Basically, there's one bullock in there. It's the one from is it last video or a couple of videos ago, where I said we had one that we needed to vasectomise because he was left entire. Well, the vet came to look at him, and it turns out his one testicle that John couldn't find when he was born as a calf is still way up inside him somewhere. So the vet didn't want to do a vasectomy on him because basically they said there's no point. He still might be fertile with the other testicle. What they do is they just slice a hole in the bag after numbing the area and then just hoik him out. But yeah, not a lot of point. So he's currently in there. He'll have to live with some other buddies. No heifers are going with you, man. We had that happen last year. We ended up with Paolo the calf. Paolo's mum got caught by a bull, very, very young. Knock that out. I'm done. So we're going to see what's on for the rest of the day. Now look, our bean seed has arrived. Unfortunately, it arrived with about 50 mil of rain as well, so not sure they'll ever get to see the ground. Certainly this calendar year. Right, I've just come down to the calf shed now to distribute some cake out for the calves, because the trolley had got empty over the weekend and they need feeding some cake. They are well happy with their bedding. The good thing about calves is flowing it all into a pile in the middle there. You can either get out immediately and spread it all around yourself, or you can just let the calves attack it because they think it's blimmin' awesome and they go mad for it. So they've spread it out quite nicely themselves, and now they're all just chilled out having a lie down. It's my fingers. Hey, what are you doing? Hello. This is Buster. This is Abby's favourite calf. He's quite friendly. Me and John are actually going to try and dehorn the last few that need doing today, whilst we're not that busy, and then the rest of this week it's probably going to be taken up by bringing stock in from outside, because the weather's turned, the grass has stopped growing, and it's that time of year, so that's what we'll be doing. But here is the cake I went and filled up in the shed earlier, so we'll get a bucket and take some round and put in the various troughs for them. So there's a trough there, they've still got a bit. These guys need some, these guys need some. So the calves in this end pen are currently on day 4 of their weaning week. So they've had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today, the 4, can't do it that way, 4 days of milk in the morning only, so they won't get fed milk tonight. But what it does mean is their consumption of cake, which they get in this trough, has gone through the roof. So I put an entire bucket in there this morning, and they've eaten nearly all of it. And they'll get another bucket tonight. And that's good, because as their milk consumption has dropped off by a half, their cake consumption has gone up, you know, twice as much. So they're compensating for that lack of milk, which is good. They seem really content and quite happy. I like to wean things gradually, so I wean them over a week. Don't like just stopping the milk like that. It's, I think it's a bit harsh for the calves to adapt to. So as the week goes on, I'll gradually feed them less in the morning as well, just to really slow it down. But yeah, they all seem to be eating a fair bit of hay now as well. I might just chuck this little bit here round, bring a fresh bale down for them. I'm just up at one of our plot sites. So in here we've got spring oat, spring oats, winter oats this side, and winter wheat. Well, winter wheat's here and winter oats here, 12 metres of each. And then there's a tram line, and then there's some grass on the end that's been sprayed off. It's been drilled, and it could really do with a pre-emergence put on it. Now I don't actually have to drive on it, so it should be fine. It's only the wheat I've got to do. I don't think there is a pre-emergent herbicide for spring oats. I keep saying spring oats, it's winter oats. Could do that. It's fairly windy. Look at the grass moving. Fairly windy, but like Bruce says, we're not going to get a better weather window to do it. Might be worth doing it, especially as the soil will be nice and moist. I might go hook the old sprayer on a minute and do that whilst we've got a few minutes. I want to deal on these calves, and John's gone off to feed some young stock in a minute, so I'll have to wait for him to come back. So it might be a good time to do it now. Right, I'm going to go and spray those plots, but I need the dome on the tractor to do so. It will take me longer to hook the machine on, fill it up with water, and actually get up there than it will to spray it, but it's a job that needs doing, so we better go and do it. I saw it advertised somewhere online, some proper steps that you can put on the side here to get up and put your dome on. Because it is a pain in the backside, climbing up on the mud guard and the clevis hitch and everything, not to mention a little bit unsafe. Right, we are all hooked on. Just got to go and put a little bit of water in the sprayer, and a grand total of 600 millilitres of spray. That's a brand new can, so it's not open, so I'm not worried about having it in the cab. This will be one of those jobs. It'll take me a lot longer to set it all up than it will to do it, but it's an important part of the plot trial that's going on there. You've got to treat it as if it was a normal crop, do all the normal things you would to it. It's just a pain having such a massive sprayer for doing such a small amount, but can't odds it. That's what we got, that's what we're doing. Might as well get on with it. Right, so I'm in the field and I'm unfolded. I'm actually going to set this thing to manual mode. So the sections are in manual. If I play around some buttons here, you can see all of these sections have gone black. If I press that one 3 times, that means the only ones that are going to be turned on are these left 3, which is those 3 out there, which is ideal because we're on a tram line here and we don't want to spray that way. Now what we need to do is trick the machine into thinking it is got a simulated speed, so we'll press that there, that little tick box, so that's fine. Target rate, we'll go with 200 litres per hectare of water, so that's all good. So I think we're all set up to go there now. On this screen I need to tell it what field we're in, so we are in Little Burrows. That one. Doesn't matter about guidelines because we're only driving from here to there. So I think we're all ready to go. Now, as I said, this is a mammoth task here. This is a big area. I've seen gardens bigger. We're gonna creep forward into about the right position. Put our power shaft going. If I press the button, spray should start appearing, which it is. I guess we'll drive. So this is a pre-emergent herbicide that leaves a film across the soil so that when the crop emerges, should any weeds, grass seeds, whatever emerge with it, they will hopefully be zapped by the pre-emergent herbicide and the wheat will be left to grow nicely. Right, that's it. That was it. 15 seconds. Now we do have a Masons and Kings van in the yard today. It's not for anything that's broken down. They actually offer the Tilly test service. It's one of the things they offer to the farmers and their customers. So the trailer there, the stock box that is on the Massey, is currently being Tilly tested. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it is basically an MOT for your trailer. So they go through it, lights, brakes, body, axles, wheel nuts, tyres, you know, the job lot. It gets an MOT. Now I'm well aware that Tilly testing is not something that everybody has done. We have it done here. The sprayer has it. Anything that's got an axle on that we tow will get Tilly tested. We look over the stuff anyway when we're using it, but it's just nice to once a year everything gets Tilly tested. Give a bit of reassurance that it's been looked over by a mechanic that is Tilly test trained, and you know, we've got that peace of mind. That is just another service that Masons and Kings offer. If you want to know more about it, there's links in the description to Masons and Kings. You can go via them to get in contact with them. You think it's something that could come in handy for you. Oh, bad reversing. So today's Monday. On Wednesday the cows are coming home, so we just want to make it ready so that when they come back they can just come in the sheds, and then we'll sort them all out another day. We're going to run some cows home Thursday as well. That one needs a slight tap down apparently. Oh, perfect. So yeah, we're going to run some cows home Thursday as well, so this shed will be full by Thursday dinner time. We just want to make sure it's ready to go for them when they get back, and then we'll be opening silage pits and feeding, and it'll be winter routine. Give it a wheel, John. Right, the shed is now ready. We'll just go along and make sure all the troughs are working and not leaking, so we actually turn them off over the summer. All that side's up as well. Chuck a bit of straw in there, and then a bit of feed on the floor for when the cows are actually back here, and that'll be good to go. We're going to go and have some dinner, and then we might well dehorn these calves after lunch. See how we get on. At least they'll be done then, and we ain't got to worry about them, because we're going to be busy moving cattle around, and then we'll be feeding, and oh, you know what it's like. There'll be something on all the time, so try and get those calves done. See where we get to. Right, so we are going to attempt to dehorn some calves here. I've managed to pick out, I think there's 7 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 7 Angus calves from the entire shed which have horns, as far as I'm aware. Can't say with all honesty I felt those ones over there properly, but we're going to have to get the blues out of that over here anyway. So we might as well bring the whole lot across when we do them, and we'll fill the Anguses as we go through. And if any need doing, then we'll do them. But all these guys are fine, and all the rest are fine. So 7 out of 90 isn't too bad. So John's just gone to get the anaesthetic, the Procamador, and what we'll do is we'll put them through and jab them, wait a couple minutes, and then put them back through and take the buds off again. So up here I've got the dehorning iron, so we'll put some lighter fluid or lighter gas, this stuff in there, make sure he's full, and then get him hot and burning before we start, so he's ready to go. Got some marker spray so we know who we've done, and then we've also got some terramycin, which is some antibiotic spray to spray on the open bud that we leave. So we're as good to go as we can be. These things have a little sight glass on them. Yeah, it's about half full at the moment. And then this one is just up to let the gas up, and then a trigger. Can you hear that? So that is now light. I'll start heating up, get that red hot. We're ready to go. I'm going to leave it somewhere where it's not going to fall on some straw and set fire or anything. Change formation. See where the buds come out there. You can tell because he's not struggling that the anaesthetic is doing its job perfectly. We've done those two. Gotta be careful not to singe your ears at the same time. Blue spray. And there he is.
Go on, Mike. I'm fed up.
Lack of intelligence. I was going to say another happy customer of it. Well, we've roped in Jonesy to give us a hand. I can go off feed some calves. So he's currently been the driving force behind the calves, whilst John does the actual disbudding. There's 10 blues there to do. I'll leave them to it. We are done in the calf shed, so everything's fed. Everyone's happy, either chilling out sleeping. Those guys down there having their cake. The ones we've started weaning, they seem happy enough. The ones that have had their horns off today, some here feeding, there's 3 of them. They all fed their milk absolutely fine. No bother at all. Which is exactly what you want. It's all starting to come together, these calves here now. By the end of this week, the group we're weaning will be completely weaned. And there'll be 2 more groups on Friday that will go down to once a day feeding. By the end of next week, we'll only be feeding 3 groups milk, which will be ideal. There's an awful lot of time and effort goes into those calves, and it's nice to see it's all going well and the weaning's going all right, so hopefully that continues. Big thank you to John and Jonesy for helping dehorn that last group of calves so I could get on and feed the calves as well. That is a good hand. Thank you to everyone who's watched the video. If you haven't already, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Doesn't cost you a penny, helps me out loads. Head down to the description box, you can check out all my other social links and also all the links for Masons and Kings. And we'll see you guys on another video very soon. Cheerio.
Like a drug that